Hello, team, and welcome to another episode of Alotta Fun Plays. Today, I'm going to expand on a video that I did a little while ago. It's the most viewed video that I've got, and I was talking about what to do with your start items and how to look after them and make sure that you don't lose them. As we have just started a new quest line, wrong one, try again. As we've just started a new quest line where we need lots of new items for our bundle board and things like that, I just wanted to go through with you basically how to hold on to some of your items. So let's have a quick look at how to do that. You've got a couple of options. Your first option is to basically have in your storage chest, you can get yourself a lockbox from Tish. It's a recipe that you can buy and then you can make it. What it does is it then creates a safe storage box. Anything that you put in this safe storage box will be held. You get one, you can buy or make two. There is only 100 storage in each. So what do I keep in my storage boxes? In my storage box, I keep all of my wallpapers and floors. I just find it so much easier when I'm doing my decorating to be able to just come in and the whole thing is just here. I don't have to try and remember what it's called or how to find it. It's just here. The other thing that I keep in here is anything that I might need for a future quest line. So I know I'm going to need an elder pie in a future quest line. And I know you don't know what you're going to need in a future one, but if you do or you're working on something, you can put it in here if you know it's part of one of your quest lines. The other thing that I do is I keep probably my rare fish that are not starred. Okay, so they're not starred ones, but they're ones I want to keep because to me they're epics and things like that. I want to be able to hold on to them. If someone asks for one, I will generally probably already have one out in my main account, our main box that I can then pass on. I'm happy to share any fish that I have, but you can only share non-star quality fish with other players. Now, same with all of your flowers and bits and pieces, you can share any of that stuff. It doesn't matter what stage of growth they're at, whether they're a bud or whether they're a full-blown flower, you can still share those, which I think is fantastic. And any materials in here, once again, you can share it. If you know you're going to need it for a future quest line, it might not have the little doodaddy above it, but if you know, so you've watched a video, one of my videos, and I have harped on about keeping hold of at least one citron, so that you're able to achieve your little dog later on. You know, you can put your little citron in here. So that's one way to kind of protect your stuff. Please keep in mind that any of the gear that's inside your lockbox, you cannot access when you're out and about. Okay, so you cannot access it when you are out and about. So anything that's in your main trunk here, if you need it for a like a bulletin board or for the night sky temple, somewhere like that, it will pull it from your inventory. However, if it's a individual quest line that you need to have items for, so it's probably what it would look like, but not what we're looking for. None of these are that sort of thing. Okay, so if you would have something like this and it would have all of the different ingredients and stuff that you need to grab, their main quest lines are not going to have any of that stuff. No, these are, I can't find anything because I'm looking quickly. Or will it not show because we've completed them? Anyway, point is, you have your list like this. If it says that you've got to take a pumpkin and it says you've got to take a carrot and it says you've got to take whatever, you need to have this holding in your backpack. Okay, so it needs to be sitting in your backpack if it's for one of the villages. Okay, so this is a little bit different. That's how it would be. Okay, so it would be sitting in here and it might say carrot and potato and whatever else. And you need to have these in your backpack if it's a produce sort of thing like that. If it's for the bulletin board, these ones, you do not need to have that in your backpack. It will pull it from your inventory. So keep that in mind because that's where this really important next step comes in. Okay, really important next step. If you have star quality, so just as an example, okay, if you have a star quality and you don't want that or you don't want to lose that, how do you keep that safe? Okay, how do you keep that safe? You've got the couple of options. As I said, you've got your storage chest. The other thing that you can do is physically put it out on your plot. Anything that is star quality can be placed on your plot. How do you know if it's placeable? Good question. When you come to take it out of your chest, it's actually going to have the word placeable in the description. Okay, so all of these have that word placeable, placeable. Okay, um, so that's how you know whether you can put it out on a plot. All right, food, placeable. Anything like that is placeable. Okay, just because it's star quality doesn't mean it's placeable. So, like your preserves and stuff like that, you can't place those down. All right, so not every single thing that is star quality is placeable, but if it says it's placeable, then you can put it out. Now, the downside of that is that your plot will become very congested with placeable things if you are trying to constantly keep everything safe. So, what do you do in that case? Well, once again, very good question. What I have done is that I now use a storage plot. Okay, and so this is where I keep all of the bits and pieces when it loads. Here we go. All of the bits and pieces that I have collected over the time. So all of my plushies are in here. I haven't put them out yet, but I couldn't imagine anything worse than having all of these large plushies on a site that are like a plot that I'm trying to build where it's delicate and I'm trying to make it pretty. I will do a plot where I have all the plushies on it. That is definitely something that I will do down the track. But for now, I don't want them sitting on my plot because it just is going to kill the aesthetic of what I'm currently going for. The same with all of my other bits and pieces here that you can see. I absolutely love the frogs and the crabs. And what I'm doing in this scenario is I am actually trying to collect enough that I can actually make a chess set and then put down the chessboard and have the crabs and the frogs on the chessboard together against each other. So that is what I'm trying to achieve at the moment, and why I'm storing them all here. My little pods, they're all here as well. I'm about to put 2 more out. I'm not going to sort them. I'm just going to put them here at the moment, and I will sort those later. Yes, I could easily keep those on my plot, no problems at all. But once again, I've got my 3rd one of these. I don't know how many different sort of katsu ones there are. Now, so for butterflies. Okay, what are these ones called? My brain has just died. These are shimmer flies, that's right. So this is set up for me alphabetically. Why do I have so many of each? Once again, good question. The reason is that when we get our dailies, okay, so our dailies here, quite often there will be collect this butterfly, collect this fish, collect this Minjin mane. Things like that you need to be able to collect. And what you can do is if it is actually part of what you've got out here, you can just pick it up and put it back down again. So this should be where my shimmer flies are gonna go. I keep 2 or 3, sometimes up to 5 if it's a common bug. And the reason for that is because quite often it will say catch 5, mossy moss, catch 5, whatever. So that's one of my 5 ones. No, not the blushing butterflies. Oh, common field crickets, catch 5. So I have them all sitting here so that I don't have to. I can just put them all into my backpack and it counts it. I'm still definitely collecting some of them at the moment. I'm not sure why I've got so many veil pixies. That's okay. And then I come here and I check, and if I do have multiples of something, then I can actually sell them off or use them to make tints or anything like that. But I do have the first lot already sitting here. So those are my king crabs. So the 2 king crabs there I've got, I don't need to hold on to those. I can let those go. The other thing I do is I keep star quality food here. Okay, so some of them, yes, I definitely have more than 1 or 2, but I keep them exactly for the same reason. It will say to you, you know, get this, get that type of food. It will say, you know, collect 1 fish stew, collect tacos, collect, you know, fruit smoothie bowl. If you've been to a cooking party and you don't actually have the recipe, if you put a star quality one on your plot like this, then what will happen is you actually have it for the future. You don't need to rush out and try and find that recipe. You can just come to your plot, pick it up, put it in your backpack, collect your reward, and then put it back on your plot again. Very, very simple. It's a bit of a loophole, I feel, but I am not complaining. So you can put anything that says it's placeable, put it out. Just 1 serve. You normally get 3. So if you go and do a cooking party or something like that, just 1 star quality is all you need to have. Okay, and then that way all you have to do is pick it up and put it back down again, and that counts. Right, soon tofu, quite often requested. Sushi, quite often requested. You know, things like that, super important. Flowers, I just have them here because I find it's easier to be able to grow everything on this plot and then move it for decorating purposes. I actually got this idea when I was doing home tours. I came across a plot that was set up as a market garden, and the person had basically grown all of their flowers on a separate plot to be able to, you know, I'm guessing for room purposes or space purposes. And I thought that is an absolutely fantastic idea. I'm going to do that too. And then while doing that, I decided that, hey, I'm going to go that 1 step further, and I'm going to make a complete storage plot for all of my bits and pieces. So I just like to try and keep things slightly organized. What I'm now decided that I'm going to do with this specific plot is I'm going to turn it into like a Warehouse 13 kind of vibe. And I'm going to build individual little buildings where I can actually put bits and pieces. So I've just literally just started. Started putting the wall across the back here. I'm going to make it 2 stories high. I'm going to put a roof on it, and then I will put all of this sort of stuff in there all the way through, because I've just expanded this plot, so that's why this is sitting where it is. And then I'll do one for bugs, and then I'll do a separate one for my fish, and then I'll do a separate one for furniture, and have these little warehouses, I think is what I'm looking at doing. So these are all my fish. Same scenario. Definitely don't need to have this many of each fish. You do not. You only need to have 1 of each fish, but I can't just stop at 1. So I bring all my star quality fish here. They get put out as well. Okay, so anything that I might want for later on. So what are these ones? Oh, Highland sturgeons. So I'm still going through making all of the rings for the Highlands. So anything that I know I need for a future upgrade, I'll put here so that I've got it because I'm probably working on the one below. But I've just caught all these fish and bits and pieces because someone's done a chum bucket, and I've managed to get all these star quality fish. So I just put them out, and then I can come and grab them when it's time to do that. But I've already got them here and ready. The other thing I do is I keep my 8 chests, my 8 main chests. So you can have as many chests as you want, but the calculation of your amount of things that you can have within your chest is based on only 8 chests, full stop. So this site has my full 8 chests that that are maxed out to their degree. I have just bought the JDM upgrade, so these are the ones that will get upgraded to JDM. They will stay here, but on my actual home plot, I just have like a wooden chest on each one. Once again, it can be for the aesthetics. This chest to me is very loud and does not fit my aesthetic on my property. Okay, and you can keep your 2 lock boxes here as well. It doesn't matter where they are, because it works across all of your sites that you have. So yeah, so this is basically what I do. And then when I decide that I want to move something to my property for whatever reason, I can do that. So this is where I keep everything, my storage plot. And over in the corner, as you did see, there's some furniture over there. That's kind of my makeshift furniture that I don't keep out very much anymore. But also items that we've been asked to make as part of our dailies, a couch, a bed, these sorts of things. So if you keep them at least one on your storage plot, then you have actually got it. You can go and pick it up and put it back down again. Makes life so much easier. Okay, so then so then when I go home to my home plot, as I mentioned before, I do have chests here, but they are just my standard, as I said, wooden or copper. My level 1 or level 2 chests are here. So just means, oh, there's my lockbox. I knew I had it somewhere. It's just so that you don't have to have the prettiest stuff, and I don't think a pink chest in this area would be very aesthetically pleasing. Same as over here, I don't think a pink chest would suit what I've got going on. So I'm happy that I'm able to keep my lower level ones here, but still have access to the full quantity of the 8 chests in total. Okay, so this was something that they only changed recently. Previously, you were only allowed a total of 8 chests altogether. I don't normally talk about the past because it doesn't influence the future. But you know, we were only able to have the 8 chests full stop. You couldn't have anything more than that. So if you had multiple properties, you could only have like 1 chest per property, or you would even maybe have a property that didn't have a chest on it at all, because you just didn't have the amount of chests that you needed to be able to do that. So this is something they've done for us, which I think is fantastic, and I am taking full advantage of it. So I think I've got 3 chests on this plot itself, 1 back, 1 front, and 1 in my building space. And then I've got my 8 on the main plot, and I think I've already got 1 on my inline plot from where I'm starting to build there at the moment as well. So yeah, so I hope this has sort of given you a little bit of insight on ways to protect your gear in Palia. The storage plot is the easiest that I find, but it also means that I can pick up and put down for dailies. I don't necessarily have to go and fish all the time, and cooking especially. You know, if you've got like your celebration cake, which is very, very hard to make on your own, if you keep that on your plot, you can just pick it up, put it in your backpack and put it back out again, and you don't need to worry about having to find someone to go and cook with, especially if you don't have that recipe already. So yeah, so I hope this is helpful. Thank you very much for tuning in. Please make sure you come back and see me again. And if you like what you've seen today, feel free to jump over and watch some of my other content. I much appreciate your time. Thank you very much, and bye.